I'm Robyn Friend, and we're looking at a map of Iran. And I'll show you some of the areas that I teach dances from. So here's Tehran. This was the seat of the Qajar rule, and so the Persian classical dance is basically from that area. Then we come over here to the northwest, Azerbaijan. The style of Azerbaijan dance I teach really comes more from the northern part of Azerbaijan in the former Soviet Union. Then over here in the west is Kurdistan, and I teach dances from this area, the Iranian part of Kurdistan, but also the Iraqi part of Kurdistan as well. In the southwest we have Esfahan and Shiraz. There are tribes here called the Qashqai who speak a Turkic language and travel between summer quarters and winter quarters in this area, and I teach dances from that area. And then here we have the Persian Gulf on this side, Arabian Gulf on that side, and here's Bushehr, which is one of the major towns in that area. Bandar means port, so Bandari is the dances of the port areas. And over in the northeast, from Bojnurd is a particular type of dance where Kurdish and Turkoman and Azerbaijani and Persian people mix. It's a very interesting and unique style of dance. Coming over here to the central north is the coastal plain of Gilan, which is incredibly lush and green because the Elborz Mountains here stop the moisture coming north off the Caspian Sea. So let's see if I can find... This is one of the provinces is Gilan, and Qasimabad is a city there, which I can't find on the map. It's not indicated on this map. So Qasimabadi, Gilaki, I teach the dances from that area. Now we're going to look at a different map. This map is a map of the ancient Persian Empire at its just about its fullest extent, all the way from Macedonia here to the Pamir Mountains. And it's really interesting that in many ways there are many cultural similarities in this area, pretty much stretching along the mountains of Anatolia eastward to the mountains of Badakhshan. And if we had more time, I could give you a lecture all about what those similarities are. But today we find the area is divided up into nations, which it wasn't at one time because there were a lot of open areas and people who were ungoverned. Here we have the Amu Darya, which is also called the Oxus, and this area has been called Transoxiana. And this area right here, this river, this is where the Amu Darya forms the border between Tajikistan on the north and Afghanistan to the south. Then there's an area called the Wakhan Corridor, which is just south of the Amu Darya. And south of that is Pakistan. Over here is China. So you can see that Central Asia really has influences from ancient times and modern times from the Persian, I should say ancient, medieval, and modern times from the Persian West, and also from the Chinese East, and from India in the South. So Tajikistan and Uzbekistan are culturally, artistically fascinating areas. Then over here we have still Afghanistan, but also we're getting into Iran proper. And continuing over here to Kurdistan, which spans 3 or 4 countries. It's divided up to in Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Turkey, and Armenia, which is also divided between Turkey and its own former Soviet republic, still a republic today. And of course there are many Armenians in Iran. One thing about Iran in ancient times and modern times as well is that it's quite a cultural mosaic. There is no single Iranian culture. There are people who speak several different Turkic languages. There's Azerbaijani Turkish, Turkmen Turkish, Qashqai Turkish, and all other kinds. So, fascinating area.